So today we're going to do a very quick, probably a 15-20 minute overview of the Sentrigard website, kind of where to find the major things that you guys would be utilizing on any given panel system or any of the different services or calculators that we have to offer. So predominantly for all of our standing seam metal roofing systems and the associated technical information, you're living in three of these tabs. That would either be the architectural tab. Underneath this, we'll dig into this here in just a second, you're going to find your product data sheets, all of the testing for those panels, as well as the details. Underneath the residential tab, you're going to have all of those same panel systems. The only one you're going to find here that you typically wouldn't find on the architectural tab will be all of the information for our 5V exposed fastener panel. Outside of that, the other two tabs you would be utilizing are the warranty tab, which under this is where you're going to be logging your finish and substrate warranties, weather tightness warranty requests, and then the resources tab. And underneath this, we've got a number of different tools. We've got some calculators for leftover coil, calculators for how much coil you need to order based on your panel profile, square footage, linear footage, that sort of thing. Roof visualizer, which is a fantastic tool for homeowners, building owners who want to see kind of what colors would look like on sample projects as well as their own roofing systems. And then the Files and Resources tab at the very top, which basically gives you pretty much every single piece of technical information that's ever been written for Sentrigard metal systems. So underneath this, we'll dig into it. You're going to find warranty samples, panel brochures for all of our panels, request forms, white papers, that sort of thing is what you're going to find here. So we'll start here underneath the architectural tab. You can open this up and you get a little drop-down menu. Sample gallery, panel specifications. You guys can, for the most part, ignore these. These are really for architects who are coming to our website. Really what you guys want is this architectural panel profiles. So once this opens up, you can click any one of these panel systems and they follow the same format. So just for the sake of this, we're going to click on the ML200 because it's got everything. Underneath this, so basically you're going to have specifications. And so underneath specifications, you'll see the same three documents. Unless you're specifying as a roof consultant or you're an architect or something like that, specification documents you don't really need. This is for people who are writing roofing specifications. It's just a guide spec for them to be specifying our product. What you really want is this panel profile and dimension document. So what this is our product data sheet for that specific panel system. And once this opens up, basically what you're going to find on here, you're going to have a line drawing of the actual panel itself, listing of the width, some of the restrictions of that panel. You'll see the slope restrictions written on it. And then underneath that, we've got a summary table for all of the testing that we have for that specific panel profile. So now that this is loaded, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. You've got the panel profile here, height, tested widths. You've got your minimum slope designation and some other information about that panel. And then down here, you basically have a summary of all of the testing for specific decks, where you have steel deck or a plywood decking, open framing, and then the set testing we have and the pressures at specific clip spacings for that. The reason we put all this here is basically so that it summarizes all of the testing we have for that panel, because if you open up any single one of the test reports, which we have that information available to you, if you go back to the ML200 tab, you go to testing, every single one of the tests that are listed on that sheet are listed right here. So you go and open these up, you'll notice that it is a 7-page document. You're kind of sorting through this thing, trying to figure out what decking type and what uplift for those spacings. So what we like to do is we just put it on here and summarize it, makes it easy. But if you ever want to have a copy of the testing profile for a set specific thing, you just look up this number, FBC 426721, and then you come back here and it coordinates back, and you can open it up and download that document. The other thing you're going to find on here, depending on whether or not we have both wood and steel deck testing for that panel profile, you'll find both ML200 wood substrate details, and then further down you'll find steel substrate details. And these details are approved for use for all weather-tight warranted projects. So these are good if you're a contractor or you are a contractor and you decide to utilize these are always okay. And the way you can document that to us, so let's just open up an EVE gutter, for example. What you'll notice, it's got all of the specific information on here. It's got some information about the panel, some information about us, some disclaimers. But the neat thing that we have on every single one of these is there is a 3 or 4-digit code at the very top. So, for example, this is an EVE gutter detail EG-1. So a little bit later, once we get into the warranty portal, what you'll notice is that we have detailed checkboxes. So if you plan on utilizing nothing but Sentrigard standard details instead of having to kind of create your own shop drawing set and key details and basically put a big PDF package together, we've got checkboxes that you can say, yeah, I'm using your EG1 detail, your Rake 1 detail, your Sidewall 3, your Peak 2, so on and so forth, just by checking those boxes. And the inspectors get assigned to your jobs all have copies of the details, so they'll know exactly what they're looking for up there, and it kind of simplifies the process. Anything that is notated HVHZ is only a requirement for weather-type warranted projects in Miami-Dade and Broward County, which are high-velocity hurricane zones. You guys are welcome to utilize these details outside of those zones. They are beefier, detailed installations, so that is definitely an option to you that you can install if you'd like to, but it is not a requirement. And just for transparency's sake, we'll scroll back down here and we'll look at the same EVE gutter detail for the steel substrate. Again, same numbering nomenclature, EG-1, but it just has steel deck, optional insulation, optional cover board, so on and so forth. So now that we're out of that, what we'll do really quick, we'll go to this residential tab, and I will show you guys that, see, it has the same sets of panel profiles. We don't have the ML200 on here because traditionally it's more of a commercial profile, but we have added in the 5V panel profile. And again, you'll find the same thing here. You'll have your product data sheet, all of your testing, and then 5V specific details. And what you'll notice here, we do not have steel deck testing for 5V, so that's where you're seeing that there's only wood substrate details and no steel deck testing details. The next tab that we'll take a look at really quick here, if you click under commercial, again, it's just some reiterating of those panel profiles. Predominantly every single thing you'd be looking for is going to be here in this architectural tab. Underneath products, you can find all of our anti-spray ES1 testing here under perimeter edge metals. Architectural wall systems will have both our flush panel and our AWS wall panel assemblies and their information here. You can click on it. You'll see it's got our AWS, product descriptions, information, and then details and all of the testing that coordinate back to those wall panel systems. And then if we go here to resources, in files and resources, this is where you're going to find a whole bunch of our technical information. So at the very top, this document is just going to be a brochure that kind of covers every single panel profile that we have to offer, some basic information about us, wall panel stuff, flush panel information, and all that good stuff, technical services information. Underneath that, you'll find an MSDS sheet, which is for the metal itself and explains kind of the ASTMs that we order and the KSIs that we order our metal to. Beneath that, you will find a color chart, information about our PVDF paint system. Underneath that, under the warranty documents, you're going to find our warranty fee schedule. We update this regularly, so all of these fees are up to date. Owner requirements document is also here for you all to reference and to hand out if there is no weather tightness warranty. If there is a weather tightness warranty, we issue a copy of this for the owner to sign and return to us before we will sign off on the weather tight warranty. There's information about the weather tight warranty program itself, a wind calculation request form. Underneath that, you're going to find our sample warranties, both finish and substrate, which is our Galvalume finish and substrate warranty, and then the Sentricard finish warranty, which is for aluminum. Underneath that, you will also find a sample weather tightness warranty. There's another listing here for our brochure and another listing for our color chart. Underneath that, we have a color matching document. The Sure color palette is basically for building owners, homeowners, whomever, who want to match paint something in and around their building to their roof. So they can basically open up this document, download it, print it, take it into any Sherwin-Williams, and get a gallon of paint, 5 gallons of paint, whatever, matched exactly to their roof. Now, down beneath that, down here at the very bottom of this page, you're going to find all of our white papers. So there's a whole bunch of different information in here. I'm not going to open up and look at every single one of these, but basically, if you have a question, most of the time it's here. If you don't feel like sifting through this information, just email us at rts@sentrigard.com and we can get you the right document, answer your question. But there's installation instructions, our underlayment approval list, which we update every 6 months, information about corrosion, lead documents, recyclability, how to clean our metal, clean our paint, and maintain your warranty. We have our fire testing here, some other fire listing, hail testing, all of that good stuff lives here. Some of the other fun stuff you can find underneath this resources tab. You can get access to our BIM files. If you click color samples, you can go here and basically click on ready to order, and I can click I want regal white and almond and patina green and slate gray. Click next. I can fill out all of this information, send a location, and our marketing department will send those samples directly to you. Also, underneath the resources tab, we have a number of calculators that I was talking about earlier. This panel to coil calculator, you can come in here, select what panel you're utilizing, what the width, what the project square footage is. Let's just say 2,000. We'll use a 5% waste factor. And this will tell me what size coil, how many lineal feet, and how many square feet of that coil I would need to order to roof that project with this waste factor. We also have a remnant coil calculator. So if you have any sort of coil laying around your shop that's left over, you can come here. I've got a 24 gauge coil inside diameter. I'm looking at these dimension lines here. Let's just say it's 15 inches. And the width of this coil is 20 inches. And then the thickness, which we're seeing here, let's just say it's 8 inches, right? I have 5,038 square feet left, 2,015 lineal feet left, and this is how much that coil would weigh. It's just a ballpark. It's just a guideline just to kind of let you know, it's not an exact science, but it is pretty close. Some other things underneath this resources tab, if you go back to roof visualizer, as soon as this opens up, you're going to be given two options. You can upload photos of your roof if it is an existing building, or you can pick a sample project. You can click any one of these. We'll use this one. You can go to roofing, pick a panel type. We'll do mechanical lock, ML200, and then I can go and click a Colonial Red. And it will show you an estimate of kind of what this would look like on your home. The last thing we'll touch on here is the warranty tab. So if you go to warranty, it's going to take a second to load. Once this pops up, if you do not have an account yet, you can come right in here, click create new account, select your company from the drop-down menu. If you know your account manager, they'll all be listed here. You can choose them. First name, last name, email, phone number, password, and for message, you can enter in anything. It can be a single letter, click sign up, and then you're in, right? And so once you sign in, this is a screen you'll be greeted with. The only thing that you all will not have that I have is all of this administrative information here. Basically, you're going to be bouncing between two tabs, forms and submitted warranties. Once you submit a warranty, it comes here. If it is a finished substrate or finished warranty, you'll have the option to download it immediately. If it's a weather-tight warranty, that will not be the case. We write all of those by hand. Underneath the Forms tab, you click Get Started. Whichever one of these is highlighted blue is what you're working on. So for weather tightness, project name, company will autofill based on what you signed up with. You can upload your roof plan or any custom job-specific details that you want to utilize here. Or those 3 to 4 digit codes I was telling you about. If you're using our eave gutter 1 and head wall 2 and rake 3 and valley 2, you can just select those and just upload a roof plan, and our roof inspectors will know exactly what you're doing. Anything with an asterisk, you need to enter at the time of your logging the warranty or will not accept it. Anything without one is something that you can come back, under the Submitted Warranties tab, click Edit and edit at a later date once you actually have that information. Because if you're logging this on time, you're not going to have your substantial completion date for weather tightness warranty if you're logging it before you start any other work. All of the other information in here is pretty self-explanatory: contact info, building info, owner, GC, all that good stuff. Clip spacing, you're selecting a panel profile, a material, a color, square foot, pitch, adding your invoice numbers. For finished substrate warranties, more the same, except for now you're really not uploading a roof plan or any details, right? You're just giving information: project name, start date, completion date, final material, your contact, building info, owner, uh, all of the information on aluminum, what color, do I need a substrate warranty, yes, no, square foot, invoice numbers, submit request. And so on the finished substrate, again, the second you hit submit request, it's available for download right here. Weather tightness, again, we write all those. It's a long drawn out process for another presentation. But the last thing I'll touch on here, our Sentrigard standard details. If you come to the very top of the Sentrigard website, if you click detail videos, we have filmed installation videos that are about 90 seconds a piece that coordinate back to all of our Sentrigard standard details, which will show you all the order of operation and how you do these. And install are pretty nice, quick, and easy. You can watch them on the website. They live here. Or if you're ever out on a remote job site or something like that and you don't think you'll have internet access, you can come down here at the very bottom and download all of these to your phone, iPad, whatever, so that you have them as a reference on the job site. So that does it for this. That's a very short, quick, and simple rundown of the Sentrigard website. Thank you guys so much for watching this. If you have any questions, please reach out to rts@sentrigard.com.